What's up, guys? Today we are going to plant our seedling mango trees, and I'll show you how we're doing it to prevent root rot, to prevent gopher attacks, and to help with water infiltration. And let me just show it to you. All right, so we have this mango tree right here. We dug a big enough hole to be able to put this. This is a 10-gallon gopher basket. It's deep enough, maybe about 1.5 feet. And right here we are putting a lot of rocks. This is just a PVC pipe, and there's holes in there that we kind of perforated, and so that when we water this, we can put either drip irrigation or just a hose to go in here and be able to water under the soil and be able to help this root kind of find its way down there and find water and develop deep root system. So here's some more rocks, little rocks. I'm just going to put it just like that. And so this is half sand and half native soil. And if you want to take a look, this is our native soil here. So it's very clay. In this particular spot, there's a little bit of decomposed granite. And in the summer, this gets really rock hard. And yeah, we're adding DG. You can do sand, half and half native. And that's what we're doing. And then after that, we have this beautiful compost that I made. It's pretty much ready to go. I don't feel like filtering these. There's no need. So you never want organic matter in the root system, right? Within the root system, because that's going to cause root rot. This, despite the fact that it's compost, is not fully composted. And most compost aren't, and it will pull oxygen out of the roots if you put this in the root zones. So you don't want that. You don't want any organic matter in the root zone. But as you can see, I'm putting it on one side here where there's no root zone just yet. So this is going to be a place where the roots can go at some point and find its way to this nutrient-rich area as it so chooses. So that is not going to cause root rot because it is not in the root zone. Okay, there you go. And we will put more, and then we'll really mulch this up. We'll water it and we'll mulch it. So same thing for this. Now, this particular one was bought from the nursery. It's a Carabao or Philippine mango. The same thing. We're going to add more rocks here. Okay. And if you look, this was in a five-gallon bucket. It's a 5-gallon container. And if you look at the soil that they put it in, it's filled with bark. You don't want that. That's going to cause root rot. Probably not now, but maybe a year from now. That's going to start to decompose in the root zone, and that's not what you want, because decomposition takes up oxygen and robs the roots of oxygen, and it causes root rot, guys. Do not use this. Do not use it. All right, so let's go ahead and put some of this compost. All right, let's just put it in there. I don't want to cover this up, but we'll put sand here. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. There's quite a few that we planted today. We got these ataulfos, and we also got cants in here, and there's some damage here on the ataulfos. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm just going to make this into a double rootstock and see how that fares. It's gonna be a little experiment that we're gonna do. So one there, another one over there. I forgot to plant this one. There's another one right there. Okay, that's a Venus seedling. That is another cant. That's an ataulfo. And I gotta save some space to put some manillas because I want to see how, in comparison to different rootstocks, we'll have a little experiment to see how well they do compared to each other over time. That's an ataulfo. That's, I believe, a Venus. And Venus seedlings, sometimes they appear to have actually, this is a cant. 2 cants in here. Okay, that's fine. And that is a ataulfo, another ataulfo, and what's grafted on it is a coxal. What happened was I had a coxal seedling, and I think something ate it, or a gopher ate it. Yeah, it was a gopher that ate it because I didn't have a gopher basket on it. It was already planted in the ground, and so I was able to save it. I actually was able to graft this onto here. So this is a seedling coxal, so it shouldn't be flowering, hopefully. So we'll see. We have a few more that we planted up here, and so as you can see, we have a bunch of trees here now, and I do not expect these mango trees to produce fruit for at least 5 years. I don't want them to fruit. I just want them to focus on growth. And in about 4 or 5, 6 years, depending on how tall they get and how established they get, is when we are going to So the plan for these is for the next 5 to 6 years, maybe 7, depending on how they do, how much they grow, and how established they become. We will eventually top work some branches to graft onto varieties that we want. But right now, we don't want to graft any of these trees because typically grafts will produce flowers, and that's all they do, and they never grow. And you want these seedlings to continue to produce new leaf growth, and that's what we want. And so take a look at this food forest now, guys. It is what is today? Today is February 21st, and let's take a look at how this food forest is faring. And it's looking pretty fantastic. So we started this food forest in November. So December, January, February. So it's only about 3 months. And we have these carapias that are looking beautiful as a ground cover. Starting to spread out. You can see it here. It's looking beautiful. We have these cover crops that are turning into, I believe this is wheat, in which we can choose to harvest for seeds for next season, or maybe try to make our own bread with it. But essentially they are just here for the chickens. That's a chicken feed. Because organic feed is getting very expensive, guys. Oh, look at this peach tree. It's a nectarine looking fine with its beautiful pink blossoms. And here's a thicket of cover crops, chicken fodder with the permanent fruit trees. That's a citrus. That's an Indian cluster fig. These are cherries. We planted a few more things here, like we have more citrus here. I believe that is a pomelo again, because we love pomelos. All right, so that's just a quick update of our food forest here. And you know, I initially thought about installing these mango plants in the fall, but then I realized that's not a good idea. You don't want to plant mangoes in the fall because they struggle during the winter, and it's better to plant these things right at spring. And we're getting, next month is spring, and we're actually hitting 50 degrees on the low temps, and I think it's pretty safe to have them here now. Not that they struggle from the cold, but it seems to they get stunted a little bit perhaps. But we're getting like 70, sometimes 80-degree high temps, and I think it's time to put them all in here. If the temperatures gets a little narrow, so if it's like 50s, 60s, then we can just put a plastic over these as a mini greenhouse to kind of help them obtain higher temps to be able to push new growth. And that's it, guys. Until next time.